It's all quite odd.
Farmer had found one of his bulls dead on his property.
Such a bizarre situation.
It's pretty disturbing.
Shake your head, say, dang it. You know?
Take a drive around eastern Oregon.
We're agriculture communities.
And you'll see signs of ranching everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Wide open spaces, with more cattle than people. Miles of fence line, acres of rangeland.
We manage and run on about 60,000.
Like the Thompson family's ranch in southern Morrow County.
My great-grandfather started here in 1909, and you know, we've never had anything like this.
This isn't usually how ranchers find a dead cow.
Normally they don't die on top of a mountain and have half their face cut off. Peculiar to say the least.
Late September, Brian Thompson found himself wrapped up in a mystery.
It's like cattle rustling, except you don't know what's rustling.
Somebody or something killed one of his cows.
From little green men to cults, you know, we don't really know.
Reports of mysterious cattle deaths from around the West aren't new. In fact, they date back decades. But the uptick in eastern Oregon over the last year and a half has ranchers perplexed. It started last July in Harney County with the deaths of 5 bulls. Happened again in Lake County, twice in Wheeler County, Umatilla County a few months ago, and most recently in Morrow County.
You hate to lose one that way. There's so many ways to lose them in the normal course of business. There's 1,000 ways, but this is certainly a new one for us.
Out back of the courthouse in Fossil,
I think the big thing is going to be awareness.
Dave Hunt talks with Wheeler County Deputy Jeremiah Holmes about his latest loss.
She was sitting up and her head was 2 feet off of the ground. She was dead, holding her head up. Gravity will tell you that won't happen.
Hunt's been hit twice.
We have ranches on both sides of town. One was on one side and one was on the other side.
In December, he lost a bull. In July, a cow.
Don't want to think about it too much, drive you nuts.
But it's hard to get off your mind when it's your livelihood.
Oh yeah. Yeah, several $1,000s, you know, it was a $6,000 bull.
It takes time to recoup from even a loss of one. If our ranchers get hit, it affects us personally.
Deputy Holmes knows cattle. He cowboyed and managed a ranch in Crook County for about 15 years before switching hats to law enforcement. He still runs a few head today.
Usually you can kind of walk up and you can kind of understand why she died.
Mm-hmm. In these 2 cases in Wheeler County?
No. I mean, other than I can tell that they were unnatural causes. I mean, it was human intervention of some sort.
Mutilated.
Surgically cut. The bull was more so than the cow. The bull had its ears removed, it had the male organs removed, the tongue removed, the nose removed.
Similar circumstances to the other incidents around the state over the past year and a half. Parts removed, seemingly with purpose.
You could see the definite cut line, whereas if it was predators came in after a death, you'd have jagged edges and parts remaining and parts gone. This was clean. It was clean.
What isn't clean and clear is what's going on out here.
Coyotes won't even eat her.
Another oddity around the deaths, scavengers aren't touching the carcasses. After the bulls were found in Harney County last summer, the Oregon Cattlemen's Association and the ranch put up a reward.
We still get calls on a weekly basis with people giving tips or giving thoughts from around the world.
This is former Executive Director Jerome Rosa at last fall's conference.
There's definitely some of them that would be classified as comical, you know, but who knows?
The internet seems to have a few ideas. From UFOs to the occult, to this 1989 study out of Alberta, Canada, concluding the mutilations up there were the work of scavengers.
It was in the Brothers area.
That was the case last October in Deschutes County when a bull turned up dead.
We called the vet out to examine the animal, and the vet actually contacted a pathologist from the Oregon State University, and the pathologist walked her through the examination. And based on what the vet had seen and described to the pathologist, it was determined that the bull had died from natural causes.
The damage to the carcass was from scavengers.
We wanted to do our part and do as thorough of a job as we could.
This case closed. The other mysterious deaths around the state, still unsolved.
FBI showing an interest in being involved.
A spokeswoman from the FBI confirmed they offered assistance to local authorities, but she couldn't say if those agencies had taken them up on the offer.
Be nice if we could figure it out.
They hold out hope for help from trail cameras, the watchful eye of the public, and law enforcement collaboration.
And hopefully come up with eventually organization or an individual or whatever it may be that's causing these issues.
Yeah. Where's the cows?
Back in Morrow County, this year's calves are down from the pastures and being weaned. And Carlos is keeping a watchful eye as life on this ranch goes on.
It's unexplainable. There's a good word. Unexplainable.
As to what happened behind the locked gates, miles from any roads, to one of Brian's bovines up on Summerfield Ridge that day in September.
I don't know. I'd like to know.
And so would others around Eastern Oregon who've lost cattle.
I do not know. Yep. I don't think anybody else does either.
Lost cattle to someone.
I'm more leaning towards human intervention of some sort.
Or something.
Somebody knows something. Either that or we're not alone. I don't know.
In Eastern Oregon, Steve Kaufmann, Central Oregon Daily News.